I'm Jordan, grateful recovering addict. Grew up around Rochester, went to school in Plainview area, spent some time in Memphis, Tennessee, and just kind of jumped between both places. And growing up without a dad in my life was a big part of my I ended up with abandonment issues and things like that, and just kind of never learned to stick in one place at any given time. You know, I was always jumping around, and it caused me to run down a path of, I started smoking weed, and then it moved into harder things and stuff like that. And sooner or later I found myself with loss of employment, found myself losing my home, living here at the landing coming in here to the landing every once in a while, and getting food and just getting the support that the landing gives. And they give a lot of good support. There's a lot of great people here that really believe in the people that are here and give good words of advice. Ended up being in and out of jail. Probably did 6 months of the last year in jail, and finally came to the point where, being on probation, I was like, I'll do my chemical assessment and just go to treatment. I went to treatment once and ended up going back and hanging out with all the old people I used to hang out with, and just going back down doing the same thing over and over again because it was what I knew. And I ended up turning that into going back to jail and going to treatment again, and ended up finding success in treatment that second time. Ended up going to North Star Regional up in Shakopee. Came back down here to Doc's Recovery House, which is a great place. The amount of connection we always, as addicts and alcoholics, we always say that connection is the opposite of addiction, and just having that connection to be around people and in AA, and then I also do a group with Tim Voles at No One LLC, and it's helped me sustain sobriety for 11 months and just learn how to live correctly and not always looking over my shoulder, not always trying to see everybody as a vending machine. I always looked at everything as what can I get from you instead of how can I help you. And now to live in a life of where how can I help you is a great thing. So I love to always stop in here and just see the people that I've lived in homelessness around and try and help them out, and just talking with them is enough. Sometimes they just need someone to talk to and need that support of someone saying they believe in him. That's what helped me, and it's what kept me at being sober and being able to know that I'm believed in, and the support of my family is a big thing for me as well. Like I tell everyone, everywhere I've been it's a small little addition to my family. The landing is another, the people here is a small addition to my family. No matter what walk of life they came from, we're all humans, and we all do what we did to get by, and sometimes it turned into just being homeless is what we liked and doing the drugs and stuff, but to be able to find that separate pathway and go and live in sobriety and recovery is a big deal. It helps you live the right way and helps you learn how to live and be successful in your own life. Whether you're successful financially, it doesn't matter. As long as you're successful mentally and emotionally is a big deal. Since I'm living at Doc's Recovery House, I've had a few jobs. I came out of treatment and went straight to working as a mechanic, and when I was doing the mechanic work, it being right out of treatment and fresh into the recovery, it was just a lot of mental stress that I couldn't really handle, So I stepped back from that, started doing my outpatient treatment, and ended up moving over to doing Tim Voles mental health group, and it helped a lot with that. And then it got me to be able to grow into, I started doing landscaping for a little bit, and then another guy in recovery owns his own painting business. So I ended up I now work with him doing new construction painting walls, staining, and stuff like that, and just getting to see these new homes and stuff like that and how they're being built now. And it's stuff I've done before, but I finally found focus and ability to do it every day and wake up ready to go to work. And with that, I finally have gotten a hold of somebody, and I'm looking to go into Texas and work in the oil rigs and just kind of keep my life going, you know. I look at it like this, it's like playing spades. You can get dealt a bad hand. If you know how to play it, you can still win that suit, you know. And a lot of these people, they didn't get dealt the great hand, and they came from maybe abandonment issues. It might be different types of traumas in their life, and they don't know what to do with their life. They don't know how to help their mental health, and just being caring about these people. We're all the same people, you know. Whether we went through addiction, went through homelessness, or we live a great life and work as a doctor, a Mayo, or a lawyer, or whatever, we all have our own issues, and that being able to overcome those issues is a big thing. And just supporting these people. Like I always say, like I hear people like, oh, I'm not giving that person money because they're gonna just go use it for drugs. Well, okay, you don't have to offer money. Offer something to eat. Offer them a blanket or some clothing or something like that. That's what I do. I always say, you know, you don't ask me for money, but I can take you out and we can go sit down and have some dinner and talk about something and just kind of create a connection that way. You know, you never know how many of these people. There's so many of these people here at the Landing, or just homeless here in any community, or just they're loving people. You know, as long as you can sit down and make a friend with them, you'll hear stories of life that you'd never understand, and you think of them different. You know, and it's a big thing to these people to have connection and have somebody to talk to. And the people I've talked to here, not a lot of them want to live homelessness, but they don't have much of a choice at this point, you know, with the shortage of help and stuff in the community, and people that don't want to give back and help with the things that they've got. You know, I look up to my higher power a lot and just listen to what he has to say, and a lot of the things he has to say I find through these people here. They tell me things that I'm like, wow, I never thought of life that way, or wow, wish I would have lived that way for a little bit to understand. And until you put yourself in somebody else's shoes, I don't think there's much of a reason to judge anybody, you know.
Drifting in all directions,